So let's start off with everybody's favorite, Randy Pitchford of the Borderlands team and company. Let's start off with this guy. People love Randy.
I think I said it last time. Randy just needs to fucking disappear for a while. He needs to stop showing himself. Stop portraying yourself as the face of Borderlands. We don't want to fucking see it.
Dude, when I sent for people listening, when I sent John and Zach the news, John's just like, why do they let him talk? And then Zach responded with, I saw that when I woke up. I fucking hate Randy.
Like, is there another example of like the guy who you let always be out in front, that would be the face of your product? Is there another example that people just fucking hate?
God, I really don't know, man. I feel like there towards the end, maybe Jim Ryan, but he wasn't as prominent as Randy. You know what I mean?
But it's one where Randy has to be the front of everything Borderlands. And the thing is, every time Borderlands news comes up, it starts with his face, and every Borderlands fan fucking sighs.
Yeah, just sighs or groans.
It's like, oh god. It's like, yeah, Borderlands, but God, Randy.
Yeah. All right. So
let's get to this shit.
Yeah. Here's what happened. There was some post that Randy put up. I didn't even see the OG post, but a fan commented on the post saying, "Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher." This is something that you as a CEO should probably just ignore. But instead, he responds. And he said, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Oh, buddy. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 91 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage in an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach. And I found a way to make it happen. I understand what Randy's trying to say, but you don't say it, buddy. You don't say it. You worded it wrong. You were trying to be inspirational, and you just look like an out-of-touch jackass up front.
Because the problem is, like, he's comparing him, assuming, he says, fresh out of high school, you're assuming he ain't got a lot of bills to pay. It's like, he might still be living at home. If he's living at home, then, yeah, of course you get to save all the money you make from your job to spend on a game. Most people these days, it's like gaming used to be like it's always been an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Especially these days where, like, not only, like, most of the time games come out, they're all like, they just raised prices a couple years ago to $70.
Yep.
But even then, most $70 games these days have additional transactions that you can make for them.
True.
And then half the games that come out, they call themselves $70 games, but half of them have, like, early access periods that people feel like they have to pay into to get the game a few days early, so they either don't get spoiled on it, or it's FOMO.
Yeah, which that's me a lot.
So it's like that. So then it's like, your games aren't $70. Your games are $100, and you're charging $70 for people who either don't care or don't know about it. So it's like, anybody that's actually looking forward to games, half the time they buy a new game, they're paying $30 more just so that they feel like they're experiencing the game with everybody else.
True.
So it's like, yeah, you can't say if you're a real fan you'll find a way to make the money. You know what that does? That makes people not want to play your game.
Exactly. Like, dude, there was so little excitement amongst here on the show, because on this show we got two Borderlands fans, not me, by the way. I know our last Borderlands video, a lot of people had some comments there. We got two Borderlands fans here, and like, even amongst the Borderlands like Twitter community, there was very little hype until that state of play. Then that state of play is like kind of injected some hype into the game, and now there's
That's what I was gonna say. Is Zach watched the state of play, came onto the show, and said he was actually excited for the game. Now he was looking forward to it, and then Randy's got to open his fucking mouth because, like, I was ambivalent towards Borderlands 4. I was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then Zach hyped it up and talked about it, and I was like, okay, maybe this would be like a game that I buy a little closer to it actually coming out. Maybe I do buy it day one. Then Randy opens his mouth, and I'm like, I don't want to even buy the game.
Right?
It's like I don't want to support Randy.
Yeah, fuck Randy.
I'm like, yeah, I could enjoy. I could buy Borderlands 4 and maybe enjoy myself, or I could say fuck you, Randy, and go about my life where like I wasn't really thinking about Borderlands anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially when you have like a bunch of other stuff coming out this year you want to play.
Yeah.
So it's like
fuck you, Randy. Maybe I go buy the Final Fantasy Pixel games instead.
yeah, or go buy Devolver Digital's new game coming out apparently because Devolver Digital, as they like to do, likes to be a meme and slam dunk on some things. They did a quote tweet about this saying, "You're going to be able to buy Mycopunk, which is one of their new games, I guess, for you and 3 friends for the price of 1 copy of Borderlands 4." Which then, of course, Randy's got to chime into that too instead of just shutting up. And Randy's just like, "Mycopunk is cheaper than a point of meth."
If we thought Randy was dumb with his message about the fucking price,
yeah, this is it.
Where a CEO really needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, where he says Mycopunk is cheaper than a point of meth, probably with fewer side effects too. Randy, brother, you got to go do some PR training. Like, you got to know when to shut up. Jesus Christ. He ended up half-ass apology. He never said I'm sorry. He just said it wasn't my intent to offend, whatever, but he still just kind of went on about being thankful in the community, blah, blah, blah. But he never actually said, yeah, I was out of touch, it was a half-ass apology that I read. Fuck Randy. Jesus Christ. I'm not a Borderlands fan, and now I'm starting to see the frustration you guys have. I'm just here on the tail end of it. Like, Lord have mercy.
Oh, there's actually more Borderlands news as well. I don't know if you had it in here.
Probably not.
All Borderlands games are being review bombed right now.
Oh, because of this?
No, not because of this, but it's funny that it happens around the same time.
Oh, okay.
So Borderlands terms of service has all been updated. Basically, I think because it's their terms of service has basically been updated to where there's, I believe, kernel level anti-cheat has now been added into their terms of service to prevent cheating, they say. Or it's basically the same type of anti-cheat that would be used in like multiplayer games, but it's hardware level, or like it gets put onto your hardware level of anti-cheat, which basically, from the sounds of it, would make like modding potentially not be okay in the game,
mm-hmm.
and things like that, and people are not happy.
So you saying that makes me assume that like maybe the older games have like a huge modding scene.
Well, it's like there's like mod packs for them.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically like you wouldn't. I think modding would basically be against the terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big thing with it, especially like Borderlands 2 is a huge, like there's like Borderlands revamped or something like that, where it's like a big thing where it basically keeps the game the same, but it just alters like drop rates and like minor tweaks to the game and stuff like that. But that would technically be against like terms of service. But it's like there's a whole thing where all of the games have been being review bombed because of the change in terms of service. Yeah, their EULA. Yeah, their EULA now has like an anti-cheat in there, but with it also has like it says it like collects data and stuff like that, like collects online passwords and things.
Right.
Which is, people already don't like when big multiplayer games have stuff like that like collects the information, and to have it in a single player / co-op experience is just like you're just shooting yourself in the foot with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like why would it need to be in there if you weren't actually using it to collect the data? Is the way people are looking at it.
Right. At this point, I feel like Borderlands just needs a big overhaul, and it's going to start with Randy. Get out of here, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, been a big thing for a long time. Everybody's always said, or everybody said for the past several years at least, that Randy needs to not be the focus, or he needs to step back and get out of the way. But like as well, like if you're changing your like licensing agreement that people have to, you can't just try to sneak it in, because that's basically what happened with this. There was not like a big announcement or anything. It was just a new one got added, and people found it.
Right. Which that's shitty. That's scummy. I feel like with something like that, you really should have got ahead of it. Like, hey, just this is one you might want to know about, guys.
Yeah, at least have a reason for doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
Exactly. So tough stuff in the Borderlands community right now. That's for sure.